Night, along with Dirty B-Sides and the Jungle Brothers. Another performance to look out for? Many performances. The Summer Works Performance Festival opens today with shows from right across the country. One of those productions is very much a local story. Nize is a play about the experiences and struggles of young black men growing up in this city. It was co-written by Matthew Worku, a 17-year-old from Lawrence Heights. He recently graduated from Dante Alighieri Academy in North York, and he and his class are bringing the show to life on stage. Matthew is here in studio with me now, along with his teacher and co-writer, Nize, who helped the students produce the play. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming in. So, Matthew, let me start with you. The play is called Nize, as I mentioned. What does that mean?
So, Nize in literal terms means be quiet. It's an aggressive way of saying be quiet. It's Toronto slang. So, we decided to use it for the play because it kind of embodied everything that's in the play, all the aggression, all the energy that we were trying to portray in the play. So, it was a good way of showing that it's the youth's voice without saying anything except two words, Nize.
Why did you decide to write the story?
Well, the inspiration for the play came from a grade 11 student about 2 years ago, was it?
Yep.
When the Mike Brown incidents happened, and she was inspired to create a play off of that. And from there, we were inspired to further that play, as we realized we had the resources to do so, and the timing was just, it seemed like it was necessary. So we developed the play within the times, and though it was difficult, it came together, and it just blossomed into something beautiful.
And it's also based on your experiences growing up and living in Lawrence Heights, as I understand it. How did that inform the play and your character?
This informed the play and my character in a way that nothing else really could, because it wasn't like I was preparing to be my character. I am my character. Mm-hmm. So it's just taking experiences that we've been through in real life, like dealing with people that are rude to us for no reason, stuff like that, and putting it into the play. So we're not necessarily acting when this happens. We're just reacting. Yeah.
It's personal. It's really personal, I guess.
Very.
Was it hard to put that on paper?
It
on
was.
Stage?
I would say it was, because oftentimes you don't really want to dive into those things about you. We kind of run away from it, I say. But having to face it and having Miss Reedy to help me push myself into facing it really got us there.
And let's bring her in. Nize, what's it been like putting this show together?
Challenging.
Why?
The show involves a lot of students, a lot of kids. There's about 30 kids, so I think managing that number of kids over many months and figuring out how to do that all collaboratively, because everybody involved did incorporate their ideas at some point throughout the process. So, yeah, managing, I think, is the difficult part. Yeah.
The tough part of being a teacher. But clearly you thought it was an important thing for the students to take it through this process. Why did you think it was important for them?
Well, really, it's like what Matthew said. There was a student who started it off. She was really mad about the shootings in Ferguson with Michael Brown, and I think maybe it was her passion, and then what came from it that just opened up those opportunities. And it was the kids in our class. There was a certain group of kids. We just happened to have this really strong group of young black males, and I think we all looked at it as an opportunity that, a lot of other people wouldn't have, just because of, the group we had.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds like they were really involved. The other students were really involved along the way in the process too. Tell me about that.
Everybody was involved on some level, from the creative designer. The creative designer is really into comic books, so our play is set partly in a comic book world with superheroes. And then Matthew, obviously, if I was to do the writing, I would write a scene perhaps and do it structurally and say, this kid would come into the scene and need to have a conversation with his mom, and then Matthew would take that scene that I wrote in 40-year-old white woman terms, and he would what we call gangstify it. And so then we would improvise. We would improvise scenes. Other kids would be writing down the dialogue that they would do, and then we just tried to figure out how it all, blended together into an overall story.
And we mentioned, Ferguson, some of your experience here. What other specific experiences here, Matthew, informed the story and made you want to tell it?
Well, personally, my experiences were more on the side of the lack of self-confidence that's portrayed within the play. So the black youth in general were just, I would say we're kind of taught, just growing up in these kind of less fortunate neighborhoods, I guess, everything that you see is not above where you're from. It's all at a basic line. So you tend to believe, okay, that's where I'm gonna get to. That's the highest I can go. And there's not a lot of people there to tell you otherwise. So for me, the lack of self-confidence that's portrayed within my character, he's not confident in his comic books. He thinks this is as good as it's gonna get, and it's not good enough. So I don't know what to do. That really hit home with me because I write as well, and I've had those moments where I'm writing and I'm thinking, like, what am I doing? This isn't gonna do anything for me, but it's what I love to do. So you just gotta power through it and develop that confidence.
And what do you hope that people who watch the play take away from it?
I hope they take away everything that we put into it. So our heart, our soul, and it's a mirror of the youth. It's not trying to portray the youth, it is the youth. So I definitely want the youth to be able to see it, see themselves within it, and then be able to change for the better. If they see themselves in a negative light, and if they see themselves in a positive light, take pride in that.
I'm just looking at the script again. 17? You're
Yes.
17?
Yes.
I know, right?
It must be fantastic for you, Nize, to work with students who are so passionate and so poised at this stage in their life, right?
And the not so poised too, actually.
I love how real she is.
Let's keep it real here. The not so poised who really did contribute a lot to the overall process too, right? Yeah.
Well, you guys, thank you so much for coming in. Great to chat with you both. Matthew Orku is a recent high school grad. Nize Reedy was one of his teachers. They co-wrote their play, Nize, about the struggles of young black men in the city. It's all part of the Summer Works Performance Festival. Their first show is today at 4 p.m. at the Factory Theater. Go check it out if you can.